allegedly he ordered one for myself.
Allegedly, Jack starts drinking it.
He goes, "Can I see your ID?" And I said, "I don't have my ID on me, sorry." Takes me to this back like side staircase. That's like not the public staircase. And Ashton out of nowhere goes, "Hey, we got more guys back in there. We got more guys." The guy came up and told us a second time. And it's like, dude, it's not a big deal. If they kick us out, there's a million other bars. That was my thought process. And Noah, our filmer, as soon as he told us, he goes, he told me to. I know, I'm sorry. It was so dumb. Jack told me to.
Hard
like Mrs. B. Do you remember Mrs. B?
Mrs. B. Oh,
from
yeah.
BNA?
Yes.
But she was like, "What y'all filming for?" And we're like, "We got a podcast."
And she was
like,
super happy about
"Make sure
it.
y'all shout out Miss B from BNA." Graham made us 3 beats for our podcast.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? All right, we dialed or what?
Yeah, we dialed. I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah. Welcome back to the Beyond the Spotlight podcast hosted by myself. My name is Jack.
And I'm Aiden.
Today, we don't have a guest here with us.
No, we do not.
This is our 3rd internal that we've ever done. But before we get into it, we want to thank Giant Snacks for being amazing sponsors, as well as Detailed Dudes and another new sponsor, All Sauger Meats. Another sponsor that we want to add in is Woods and Irons. Huge thank you to all of our new sponsors. You guys will see their new ads throughout this episode. But anyway, we're stoked to have you guys here with us watching today. It's an episode that we've had a lot of stuff happen since our last internal, so we want to talk about some of that. For those of you who have not watched an internal episode before, basically what we do is we kind of break down what's happened, in the last 10 weeks since our last internal episode, any personal things that have happened, and anything with the podcast too. So we've done a lot of traveling. We've had some big guests on since, so kind of a lot to break down.
Yeah, for this podcast, we're definitely we're gonna dive into our Nashville trip. We just took a trip to Nashville. That was our first time that we went on a trip for the podcast, and so that was super excited. We'll get into that. And then we also have some exciting news on our personal side, and then also some more with the podcast, and just talk to you guys about where the podcast is at for us. And so let's get into it.
So Nashville, dude, crazy, huh?
Dude, oh my gosh. A lot of fun memories. One, I am just in awe that we were able to even do that.
Yeah.
We were able to, and all of this money was funded from the podcast. So all the hard work that we've been putting into with getting sponsors has funded, and you guys watching, and the money that we've brought in, which isn't a ton by any means, but it allowed us to go to Nashville and experience this and interview Graham, which has been an artist that we both have listened to for a while now.
Yep. Yeah, no, dude, it was absolutely nuts. We wanted to kind of share some of the stories that we had from that trip. And so if you guys haven't watched the behind the scenes video, you should go check that out. That would probably be good to give context. But we had a filmer buddy of ours, Noah Cluton, come with us, Cluton Films. He basically recorded the entire thing. Obviously, Aiden and I, and then we're not 21, so it sounds bad, but we had to bring another guy that was 21 years old to check us into our hotel, because for some reason you got to be 21 to check into a hotel.
That is a silly rule.
Yeah, I think it should be 18, but
I know.
Whatever. Same with drinking. But anyways, so his name's Ashton. Shout out Ashton. He didn't want to be in the behind the scenes video at all.
But he definitely made the trip more fun.
Yeah.
He's great to have around, and that was it added it with him there, and having 4 dudes go and travel to Nashville. It was great.
It was a lot of fun. So we stopped at the brass hat in Waconia, and we filmed with Matthew Wernig there. Mm-hmm. He is killing it right now. He's starting season 3 of 50 Dates, 50 States.
That was our second time filming with him. That is not our last time. We will definitely do some more stuff with Matthew, and shout out to Matthew, because he's done a lot for us, and we love talking to him about his own stuff. But one thing I did want to mention, once we got to Minneapolis, got to the airport, filming was different. I've never filmed myself in front of people all the time. Yeah.
How'd that feel for you?
Dude, it was looking around, everyone's like turning heads and looking at us. You almost feel kind of like a celebrity. And it kind of felt that way.
And some people are probably thinking negative things towards us too, for sure. They're like, what are these kids doing walking around with a camera and microphone?
Who do they think they are?
Yes. Yeah. So you kind of feel celebrity, but you also kind of feel like, oh, dude, these guys are looking at me.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then once you get into Nashville, they're kicking you out all the time for having cameras.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they didn't like the cameras.
No, they did not.
So, yeah, I mean, Matthews went well. We flew there, and everything was normal on the flight. So we landed, we Ubered to our hotel, and Aiden, fill in any details if I'm missing anything, but I Ubered us to the wrong hotel. It was a Hyatt place, and it was a Hyatt home, and we needed to go to the Hyatt place. Why would they have two Hyatts named that similar? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. But so we Ubered to the wrong place, go to the right place, go get some Taco Bell, whatever. Good first night. Not a ton of room for the set the next morning.
No, there wasn't. And at the same time, while we were all doing that, Jack and I were kind of like, we should film at maybe a different spot. And so we were trying to work with the Hyatt employees, and they were not having it with us. There was a point in the podcast we mentioned like our whole hotel experience was just a little off. And the reason was because the Hyatt there, it's not like it was a very nice, expensive hotel. We can't afford that. But it's something that we started out with. And Jack and I went down and we were looking and we were like, can we at least get like a business room or like, what are those called?
Conference room.
Like a conference room, a conference meeting room. And there were conference rooms there, but they didn't want they didn't want us to be in them for whatever reason, and so we ended up doing it in the hotel. And so that is one of the things that we're kind of a little not the greatest people to work with, but
and also like just having a guest the size of Graham, it would be more professional to have done it at a restaurant,
right?
Or something like that. Some sort of set would have been better. But he's the nicest guy in the world and he didn't care.
Right.
But maybe a different person would.
Right. And that's just something through trial and error, we've already learned. I mean, next time, if we were to go to somewhere similar to Nashville, we're going to schedule out a restaurant or other place to film.
So how do you think Graham's pod actually went then?
One of the biggest things that I kind of wanted to learn about is like how producing works.
Yeah.
Like I know enough about music to know that there's a producer and there's a singer, but like what all does the producer do? And then on the other hand, like how does money get split up and how they get paid? Yeah. Not that we need to know exactly how much he makes, but like the producer makes 5%
on the
Spotify listens, and then 50%
of the radio.
Yeah. And I thought that was super interesting. 5%, to me, that seems kind of low.
Yeah.
Should it be higher? I don't know. I don't know how. I'm sure the singing is obviously the difficult part of it. You have to create lyrics for it. But yeah, I don't know. But it was very interesting. And Graham was very educated on that, of course. That's what he does. But it was good to learn about that. What about you?
It was awesome. I had a good time. And the viewers are really loving it. We had a lot of Graham's fans that came over to our podcast on Instagram, on YouTube, and leave comments like, dude, we're so happy that Graham got to share all this stuff, and I'm listening because of Graham and all this stuff. And we hope you guys stick around and enjoy some of these later podcasts because we got some great guests lined up for the future. But we're happy you stuck around to watch that one. Overall, I don't know that it could have gone a lot better. I've listened back to it now a couple of times, and I've enjoyed it every time. Mm-hmm. It's always fun when you can go back and watch something and enjoy it. So no, it was a great episode. The game was fun, a little short.
That was. Well, we didn't expect that he'd answer him so quickly.
Yeah.
He did a really good job with that. One thing I wanted to highlight on the viewers portion of it, we always like to look at, I think everyone likes to look at quantity of viewers. Like, oh, this got 1,000 views or whatever. But with Graham's, I really think we've gained some followers that are going to be loyal followers based off of their comments. They've said, hey, I don't really watch podcasts normally, but you guys did a great job. It was very professional, and thank you for doing it with Graham. I don't think Graham has done too many of those. Mm-hmm. And so they really enjoyed that from his fans really enjoyed that. And so I think we gained some loyal fans through that.
Yeah. And so after that podcast, we went downtown Nashville and we teased this internal because there was stuff that happened that we wanted to share here. And so we might as well just share it now. I mean, we got downtown Nashville, checked out this place called Assembly Food Court. It's pretty sweet. I mean, the whole town is just bars. It's or not. I shouldn't say the town, but Broadway.
Yeah.
If you guys have never been to Broadway, it's like a downtown street in any normal city, except for it's bars, and they're all like popular country artists bars. Like it's Jason Aldean's, Morgan Wallen's, Luke Combs. I mean, there's you name it in country. They got a bar.
Yep.
And they got multiple floors, and they have country music being played live on every floor. And no, it's amazing. To be honest, I wouldn't recommend if you're not 21.
No. And that's the first thing we noticed when we got down there. We kind of asked our Uber driver, like, what should we do? And they're like, well, you can go here, here, here. And we're like, well, we're 21. They're like, oh.
No, we're not 21.
Or, yeah, we would say, we're not 21. And they'd be like, oh. And so we kind of noticed that right off the gun. And we tried to get into some bars, because some bars you just have to be over, 16?
No, you can go in anytime till 6 p.m.
Yes. But what was the first one we tried to get into?
That was 21 plus. That was the Barstool bar.
Yeah, that was
which I was pretty
Barstool.
disappointed in because I like Barstool, the brand. Dude, have you been seeing the side note? Have you been seeing all the hate Barstool's been getting?
I haven't.
Do you watch it, Barstool at all?
Really,
Not really.
not much.
So basically, they just like get videos from other people and post it on their page just because they think it's funny and they share it. And every comment is like, I was gonna like this post until I realized it was a Barstool thing because they think that they're like stealing content, but they ask permission. So I'm on Barstool's side personally because they ask permission. But yeah, no, I like Barstool. And funny story off of that, we don't look the oldest, but we didn't even get to walk in the bar, like fully walk in before.
No, we didn't. I don't even think we opened the door. I think it got opened for us to tell us not to go in.
And we didn't even ask, like, hey, can we go in there? He's like, he opened the door. He goes, you guys got to be 21 to come in here. Yeah. We're like, dude. I was like, at the end, I was like, how would you know we weren't 21? And obviously I'm joking because we were the most young-looking 20-year-olds you'll ever see. So, yeah. What else? Anything else from there? I mean, there was that bus full of girls that were biking, doing they got like the pedal bar thing.
A lot of drunk people, but a lot of people having fun.
At like 1 p.m.
At 1. And it was a cold, like 40-degree day.
No, dude, it was like 20.
Yeah, it was
less than 20 actually. It was cold. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but to kind of put a picture like for you guys to understand kind of what it looks like. Jack mentioned earlier that there's all these bars, but each bar has a different level and each level has a different band. And so all of these artists this is where they get their kickstart, and you go on the first floor and there's a lady singing, and then you go on the second floor and there's a dude singing, and it's all different types of country.
Like
whatever.
Vibes,
and it was really cool to see all of them, and they all had a passion for music, and to listen to them, and you're like, dang, they're actually pretty good.
Right.
And it was everywhere. That singing was everywhere you went. Every bar had a band, which I think is just crazy, but that's Nashville.
And that's like the crazy part is like right now, as we're filming this, that's still happening. It's 24/7 there, so I think that's cool. But so we go into Morgan Wallen's bar, and every floor is a different theme song. So like one of them's Broadway Girls. Crazy, by the way. Broadway Girls, like I don't know. Anyway, so different levels. And so we go up to the top floor, of course, rooftop. And my buddy Ashton's 21, so he orders a drink. And I think he accidentally ordered 2. Allegedly, he ordered 1 for myself. And so allegedly, he walks over and sets it down. And, we're on this balcony where he didn't get ID'd.
No.
There's not a ton of security, like, out on the outskirts. It's like half indoor, half outdoor. And on the outdoor side, there was no security really. Nope. And so, he sets it down for like 2 minutes, and I allegedly pick up this beverage after 2 minutes.
Allegedly, Jack starts drinking it.
And so I'm holding it, whatever, and I take a few steps toward the indoor section. Boom. Security all over me. Like, what? How did you know so fast? So he goes, can I see your ID? And I said, I don't have my ID on me. Sorry. Takes me to this back, like, side staircase. That's like not the public staircase. And he's like, all right, we got to go. And he was like pissed. Big dude takes a takes a beverage, hands it to somebody else. He says, all right, we got to go. Makes Ashton come with me. And we go to the stairway. And Ashton, out of nowhere, goes, hey, we got more guys back in there. We got more guys. I'm like, dude, what are you snitching for? He didn't ask if there was more people in our group. So he goes, all right, we're going to go get them. So he goes and gets you and Noah. And I'm by myself at this point now. He's walking with me out. And I'm just like, you know, I just was like trying to make conversation to not make it awkward. And I was just like, you know, geez, man, you guys got good security. That was quick. Like I had one sip of that and you guys were on me. And he's like, didn't laugh, didn't say a word, just stone face. I'm like, oh my.
And he's
gosh.
taking Jack down like 6 flights of stairs.
No, 6. Yeah, 6 flights of stairs. Yeah, because we're on the 6th. Yeah, it was crazy. And then I get kicked out, whatever, and it's like not the front doorway. It's like the side door.
Yeah. And during this time, so once I noticed that Jack got caught, I'm looking at him I'm like, shoot.
I never heard your perspective on this.
And I'm looking at him like, shoot. And I'm like, Noah, we got to go. Because I just didn't want to be associated with it right away. And so Noah and I take a step and we kind of go. And I'm like, dude, they could really get in trouble. Because one, if Jack gets caught, he could get
allegedly a minor.
And then allegedly, if Ashton got caught, Ashton could get something for giving it to you. Like there's a lot of... Allegedly. Like there's... There's a lot of things that went through my head, and that's how I always am. I'm always that way. I'm always thinking of the worst. Just I don't know why, but that's how I always am. I'm like, no, this is not good, but like this is good content. you know? But then
you couldn't turn the camera on though because we get kicked out.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But then I start and I'm like, oh, is that Ashton? So Ashton didn't go with him. So the three of us start climbing down the stairs, and I'm like, where's Jack? Is he getting in trouble? And Ashton's like, I don't even know. And then we walk downstairs, find this door, open up, and Jack's just standing there, like literally definition of just getting kicked out and pushed to the curb. He was just standing there right by it.
I was embarrassed, and I knew that people around didn't really know I just got kicked out. Although if they saw me walk out with the security, they probably did.
Yeah.
But I had a solid 45 seconds to sit there and reflect while I was waiting for you guys to get kicked out. And, you know, not my proudest moment, but it was a fun memory. And I'm glad that, you know.
I'm glad everything was okay.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get in trouble. And
it really wasn't that big of a deal. And even when we got there, I was like, well, they didn't really do much with you, did they? And they just kicked him out. And like, they're not gonna investigate and do all this extra.
Plus, we could be making this whole story up, so you guys would never know. But no, Brushmark Signs is a family-owned and operated business out of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
They are a one-stop shop for visual marketing.
Their designers can create logos, banners, indoor and outdoor signs,
digital message boards, decals, and apparel,
as well as promotional items, window tinting, and more, and they ship nationwide. So if you're interested,
give them a call at
218-847-3599
or visit brushmarksigns.com.
Seriously, you guys, Brushmarks hooked it up. They came and installed these signs today, so super thankful for Brushmarks. You guys got to check them out if you have any sign needs. Now let's get back to the podcast. When it comes to quality meats, trust the experts at All Sauger Meats. Family owned and operated with locations in Audubon, Fargo, and now open in Breckenridge.
From hand-cut steaks to in-house made sausage, fresh seafood to smoked bacon, they have everything you need to elevate your meals.
They're open 7 days a week in Breckenridge, so stop in whenever you need. Plus, check out our meat bundle packages and our bulk beef orders for unbeaten value.
Visit allsaugermeats.com or stop into your local All Sauger store and experience the difference in every bite.
All Sauger Meats, your trusted source for quality and freshness. Thank you, All Sauger Meats. And then also, we were at Jason Aldean's bar earlier, another rooftop. And we were going to just do like some joking interview stuff with people. And immediately, like, we were just recording off the rooftop just to show what our angle was. And of course, security comes up and tried to kick us out. Or he threatened to kick us out if we didn't put the camera up. And then we just left because it was a weird vibe from
And that's
there.
the toughest part. You can't even bring a camera in anywhere, which I kind of understand, but I kind of don't at the same time. Because if somebody was holding their phone up, I feel like no one would come up to them.
Yeah, and the other thing too is when that guy came up and he was like, okay, so one thing we didn't mention is that earlier before that, we also got told to put the camera away. So we already knew. So then we were upstairs, and then the guy came up and told us a second time, and it's like, dude, it's not a big deal. If they kick us out, there's a million other bars. That was my thought process. And Noah, our filmer, as soon as he told us, he goes, he told me to. I know, I'm sorry. It was so dumb. Jack told me to. I'm like, dude, you didn't have to just relax.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
And Aiden had a good thought. It's like, point the camera at him while he tells you to put it away.
Yeah.
Before, just for 5 more seconds.
Yeah.
And then turn the clip off.
He's not gonna. Yeah.
And that's just like, that's what makes the best clips, the best filmers, is by when you get that pressure on you. Not to say Noah's not a great filmer, but I'm just saying, when you have that high pressure moment, you have to capitalize, because that would have been a really good part of the video.
There's a lot of, to be honest, there's a lot of parts that we did get kicked out, or not necessarily kicked out, but told to put the camera away. And if you just quick glance at them,
just get one of the clips
a little
on camera,
clip, then we could have thrown it in, which is, I mean, it's okay looking in hindsight, but that's just something for the future that we got to think, like, how do we, because now we're talking about it, it's not as cool if we're talking about it,
right,
you know,
right,
but
right.
if we can show it, then.
Yeah, and same with like other clip or other like off the cuff stuff that happens. It's hard to be obviously recording 24/7 as a filmer. It makes me think about our buddy Dalton, like how he's always got to be ready, and how like what the background of the actual film process looks like.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean,
And for those of you who are curious, because I sometimes am curious too, but when we're filming, it's almost better if the camera is just always going. You can always cut out the camera, but you can't always remake a real
moment.
Yeah. There were plenty of moments that we had in Nashville that Jack and I had a good comment, or we're talking to somebody, and it would have been good content, but it's hard
Like
because
Mrs. B.
you just don't know.
Do you remember Mrs. B?
Mrs. B. Oh,
From
yeah.
BNA?
Yes.
Yeah, I have that in my notes, or I would have probably forgot. But she was like, "What y'all filming for?" And we're like, "We got a podcast."
And she was
like,
super happy about
make sure
it.
y'all shout out Miss B from BNA.
Yeah.
So hopefully she watches this. Shout out Mrs. B. But yeah, having those moments caught on camera is huge. And that's like a lot of times for vlog content is what you mean.
Yep.
Not just for when you're filming a video and you're filming a video bit, like a lot of it is like prepped and like ready to go in advance. But like a vlog, it's more moments that are, happening
And it's
live.
better
So
when it's a real moment too.
Right.
Versus someone just faking it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the vape prices are crazy in Nashville, too.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. No, he's 21, so it
okay.
don't matter. So my buddy Ashton, he goes up to buy a vape because he's a nicotine addict. No, he's chill. He actually hasn't bought one since then. He told me he wants me to be
Probably
proud.
'cause-
We are proud.
Yeah, we are proud.
Yeah. Don't vape. But anyway, so he buys a vape, $70 for
They
that
charged
vape.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
That's
Nashville.
crazy. It's one of those things where you don't swipe and you don't see the total, you just swipe.
Yeah.
And that's how they get you.
It's one of those places. It's kind of like Vegas too. You have to be careful what you are buying.
Yeah.
You have to know the price.
Right.
Yeah, that was not a good situation.
Well, another thing to touch on from that is we got in contact with Graham, and he actually made us or I shouldn't say he made us a beat, but he sent us 3 beats that he had made for us to custom use for our podcast. Graham made us 3 beats for our podcast.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
And that was an idea that we came up with. We were like, wait, we have Graham at our fingertips. Should we just ask him to make us a beat
Yeah.
or something? And so Jack texts him and he sends over 3 like that. And we're like, what? And so the intro is now
Beat.
that is what that beat is.
Yep.
And that's our beat. No one else has that beat.
Yep. Besides Graham and us.
Yeah.
So unbelievable. Huge thank you.
We
to
have
Graham.
our own beat.
Yep. And that's why it's like, dude, Graham, I'm telling you guys, Graham is a great guy. If
He
you
is.
don't listen to his music, you at least got to try it out and listen to it. And all of Connor Price's music, I'm sure you guys know Connor Price. He produces all of it. And Nick D.
If you're looking for something that's like, I kind of got stuck in country, and then you hear some of that rap, and that's like, rap is good and whatever, but if you want a rap that's clean, that you can play anywhere in the car with kids or whatever, Connor Price, Graham, Nick D,
Henrik. And that's not all rap, but it's just good music.
But they just have good music. And yeah, I've started listening to them, and that's all I listen to now. I don't even listen to anything else. That's mainly what I listen to. Another fun thing that we wanted to talk about and kind of mention, after this was over, in the vlog, you guys might have seen that Graham talked a little bit about getting us to his concert. Jack and I and our girlfriends are going to Chicago on
April 12th, I think, or
April
11th,
12th.
11th, something around there.
Graham got us tickets to the Chicago concert that he will be performing at, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Huge thank you to Graham for hooking that up. Seriously, we're beyond stoked. We wanted to go anyways, and then it worked out really good. So if you are a fan of ours and you're going to be at that show, hit us up. We'll be there.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
say what's up. It'll be fun. Yeah. I mean, anything else from the Nashville show to share, or Nashville trip?
Don't think so.
Overall, great experience. Super blessed. Super thankful. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah,
that's
the first one of many that we want to go on. That is one thing that Jack and I, we've been doing a little. We have a business side of this, the podcast, and we like to have our business conversations, and we're gonna have a little set aside money for just in case we get pop-up trips that we need.
Florida,
and,
try and set up some.
Florida, California.
Balin Levine, Danny Duncan down in Florida. They're both in Florida.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe just kidding. Take that back. Balin's not in Florida anymore. Go ahead. Sorry.
But those are dream guests.
Yeah.
And that's just what we want to do. We'd love to be able to travel and
the
have
thing
this
about
paid for
having
it.
a guest style podcast is it's basically ran off the guests. We need to have big guests. And you guys know this. The videos that have well-known guests get the best views. And so to grow our channel, we need to get the best guests. And to have a little bit of money set aside to get a flight, because a flight is our opening to any guest in the world, pretty much. I mean, anyone in the United States.
To get there
the
physically.
flight, it was the only barrier. Don't get me wrong, getting in contact is not easy, but once you can have the money to pay for a flight out of pocket right away, like, dude, Danny Duncan invited us this weekend, let's go.
Yeah.
Once we have that, it's like, it just is so freeing.
Right.
And so we have that golden ticket now, and we got to cash it and try and get these interviews lined up with these bigger guests. Also,
when we do, let's say, DM someone who's big, we need to work off of their schedule. These people are busy. And so if they say I can film in 2 weekends,
you got to go.
It'd be sweet for Jack and I to be able to be there where we could say, we'll be there.
Yeah.
But we can only do that through you guys. And one thing I notice.
And our sponsors.
And our sponsors. But one thing I do notice all the time, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, our subscriber to viewer rate.
Oh, everybody clicked off because they don't want to hear you. They don't want to hear you lecture at them.
Just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It does a lot for us.
Yeah.
Even just a little comment. We read all of our comments and we appreciate all of our comments. Sometimes we don't realize who all listens because you can't read through the screen. But when someone comments, you're like, oh, okay, I know that person listens.
Yep.
And it's great to see that you guys comment on our stuff, and so we really appreciate it if you would just
click subscribe. Click subscribe if you have not clicked subscribe yet.
Wait, we'll give them a chance.
1, 2, 3. Thank you for clicking subscribe. And if you didn't, we're disappointed. And if you're not signed in, sign in. It takes 30 seconds. All right. Spring break? You want to get into spring break? The beach was wild. You take what? If you guys have seen the clips on TikTok of like what the beaches look like in Cabo or maybe Cancun, it is exactly what it looks like. You take one step on the beach. Sir, please buy this headband. Sir, buy this headband. Buy this headband. Buy these sunglasses. Buy cocaine. It's like, whoa, okay. Okay,
Good to get back into it.
We were interrupted by the train. The train will not be an issue at our next shop. So, just saying. But anyways.
You haven't even talked about that. We haven't even brought that up yet.
Oh, yeah. Put a pin in it. After this story, we'll go to the new shop. Okay, anyways, that's my new thing. Put a pin in it. That's a new thing.
Are you going to put a pin on the screen now?
Yep. No.
I was confused when you said that for the first time.
Sticky note with...
Jack's all about sayings.
Yeah, I am all about sayings. Put a pin in that one too. Okay, anyway, back to my story. Goodness gracious. You walk on the beach, and it was not jet ski. I said jet ski, it wasn't. It was parasailing. And so we had just paid for it, and we had already walked past, we call it the Shark Tank, when everyone surrounds you and it's like, boom, everyone's pitching you different things, headbands, sunglasses, whatever. So we're standing there, we just paid for it, and this guy comes up from behind and he goes, "You guys want some cocaine?" We're like, "No, we should be okay. We're all right, thank you." And you just get used to saying like, "No, thanks," just because you get offered cocaine so often. And then he's like, "You guys want some weed?" We're like, "No, no weed. Thank you, though." And he's like, "How about a hat?" And it's like, that's what the third one is. How are you not going to offer a hat before the rest of them? Oh, my gosh. In the moment, so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. It's
So
like,
did you get a hat?
No. Hat? No, I didn't.
Oh.
But we did buy headbands. And just some of the most insane sayings on them.
I'm sure.
I won't say what they are. I'll pop up a clip on TikTok of like some of the examples.
No. Oh, Lord. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, my face. Oh. Oh. Oh, no.
It's
a whole
like-
bunch of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Hawk Tua. There were some funny ones, but there was a lot of that just like, whoa, okay. So like, yeah, you just get bombarded on the beach, and I'm sure it's popular for spring break and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a great trip. Cabo was super fun. We got to see whales. I mean, there's a ton of stuff we could get into with that, but we'll get into that a different time. On to the new shop. We got a new shop. Me and Aiden together.
Can I explain the beginning of it?
Yeah. New shop, baby. Woo!
All right.
Let's go.
So,
Insane.
this happened probably... Geez, was this before Christmas, would you say?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The idea of it. Either way, there was one random day. Jack and I were together. I don't even know if you remember this.
Okay.
We were together, and we were in this shop that we're in right now. And we were talking to each other, and Jack was talking about how he's looking for a new shop for this summer for his detailing business, and he might move into an apartment. And I'm like, he needs a new shop. I'm starting up my own business here, and we run the podcast together. Why don't we just go in on a shop together? And we looked at each other, and we were kind of like, wait, how have we not thought about that before?
Yeah.
And so then we were like, wait, okay, let's make some calls. So we made a phone call to Joe.
And I'll take it a step before that,
You can,
too.
yeah.
I'll take it a step before that. Aiden did come up with that great idea. But before that, I had already toured the shop
True.
that we are in
Yes.
with Traver, who is my employee. He is an amazing worker. But anyways, we were going to go look at that together just because I wanted his opinion on the place too. And so when Aiden came up with that, I was like, dude, let's go talk to Joe, see what we can get figured out with this new shop. So I'll let you take it from there. I just wanted to say we had toured it before and you were not present.
Yeah. And so then we basically set up a time to tour it. We tour it. Jack and I were like, I really like this. And we thought, well, we could split rent all three ways. So it makes costs go way down when you share a shop like that, especially when you split it between three different businesses. And so we were like, dang, like this is kind of a no-brainer. And Joe, shout out to Joe. He's a great construction dude. He's the guy who we rent from. Custom fit this shop for us only for a 1-year lease, which is not common.
Yeah, and also we're probably likely going to stay for longer. but
Probably.
we only are in for one
only
year.
are in for one.
Yep.
But that's just not common for people who like know that stuff, know leases and stuff like that. That's not common for someone to do that. And he was so kind to fit it up to us. So Jack and I both have an office, and then on top of our office, we have a podcast studio, which will be, this is actually our last podcast we're filming in this shop.
Yep.
And we also have like a bathroom, and we have it's a 50 by
50 by 30
50 by
shop.
30.
And how it's laid out is it used to be connected to a different shop, and it was walled off. 50 by 30. And then we have like a 12-foot loft that goes all the way across, podcast studio, and then our office is underneath. And then the rest of it's open area. and we're gonna trick this thing out to be like the perfect shop for having fun. Having fun is gonna be a priority, and then obviously our detailing business, or whatever else is gonna happen in that shop. But
Yeah.
no, actually though, it's gonna be perfect because we're gonna be able to have our own space. We can, not to say we can be like super loud or whatever, but like we can do whatever we want to do with
We
our
can
space.
film on our own time. We can
Yep.
invite whoever we want there. We can do whatever we want.
We can
and that's
leave
the nice
our cars, like if we need a snowstorm, boom, leave our cars in there, whatever it may be, all this stuff. So
Yeah.
super, super blessed and lucky to have gotten in contact with Joe. It's just like God is kind of setting this up for us. He's like, don't stop yet.
Yeah.
That's the sign that I believe I've seen.
And honestly, like another thing to add there, Jack, if I wouldn't have gone in on him, that would have been a lot of money for rent. Mm-hmm. Especially for a young kid like us when we're running a business. That would have been a lot of money for one person to rent. And so the fact that we can do it together and we're not even going to be, it's just going to be fun. We're not even going to be that much on top of each other.
Right.
You know, it'll be just fine. It'll be great. And it's just super exciting too, because I've never had a house before. I've never had these things
Your
before.
own
I've
space.
never had my own garage before.
Mm-hmm.
We literally have a shop. And so that's super exciting. And
Mind-blowing.
We'll be able to show our viewers too.
And the best part about it, you guys, is like, if you would have told me where we are now a year ago and the fact that we're going to have our own shop, I would not have believed you for a second. Don't get me wrong. The road is still plenty long. We still have a lot to achieve, but this is a huge step for us.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it just shows like, if you guys want to try something, you got to try it.
Yeah.
You got to try it.
Yeah.
It's going to suck in the beginning. We're 7 months in, and our podcasts are not perfect. We got growing to do, but 5 years in, we're going to be a lot better than we are now.
Right.
2 years in, whatever.
And
So,
this shop example too, like some of you may be like, this is pretty uncommon for someone our age. And it is for us to be able to get a shop like this. But Jack and I are we both love entrepreneurship.
yeah.
We are very much into it. And we're all about taking risks and trying the new thing and doing it on our own. And so this is just something that we decided to get. And it's not your traditional path of going and getting a job and working that 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with that, but we aren't doing that.
I don't see myself, and I said this goal in the first episode that we ever filmed
Yes, you
together.
did.
I don't see myself ever working for somebody ever again. And I don't know if that's going to come to fruition or not. I hope so. But I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got to make this work.
Yeah. We got to pay rent for one.
We got to pay rent. Guys, keep watching the podcast.
Yeah, for real.
No, but we got Dave Keena from Brushmark Signs coming down. He's one of our sponsors. He's coming down tomorrow to help us pick out some signs for our podcast. And then for the whole shop, we're going to try and put photos of us up and do it the right way. Mm-hmm. We're not going to cheap out and make stuff look silly, but we're not going to, blow all our money on it. We're going to be smart, but just do it the right way. So really excited to show you guys that. Really excited to see what kind of content comes out of it and where we are next May. Maybe Aiden hates me. Maybe this podcast ends a month in. No, it won't. But who knows where we'll be. Really excited to see.
Yeah.
Discover Woods and Irons in Wapaton, North Dakota, your ultimate golf destination. With a family-friendly environment 6 days a week, it's the perfect spot for golfers of all ages. Adults can kick back with a drink from the driftwood, and if you're hungry, pizza is just one order away.
With over 1,000 courses to choose from, you can play year-round in a climate-controlled environment, no matter what the weather. Whether you're sharpening your skills or just having some fun with your friends, Woods and Irons is the place to be.
Book your bay today. Thank you, Woods and Irons.
Looking for a top-tier clean without the hassle? Detail Dudes has you covered.
Based in the Lakes area, they bring professional mobile detailing right to your driveway from spring to fall. Their fully equipped detailing van has everything that you need to make your vehicle look brand new inside and out. Need something extra? Visit their shop today for paint correction, ceramic wax, or deep upholstery cleaning with a heated extractor.
In 2024, they were voted Best Detailing Company in Detroit Lakes, a testament to their top quality service and customer satisfaction.
Call 218-849-0146 to book a detail and experience the Detail Dudes difference.
Thank you, Detail Dudes.
Huge thank you to today's sponsor, Giant Snacks. Giants is a small family-owned business that specializes in premium flavor and giant snack sizes.
From sunflower seeds and pistachios, pumpkin seeds and cashews, Giants has all the great snacks you need.
Don't forget some of the great flavors that they offer, from dill pickle to sweet Thai chili.
Or whatever flavor you're craving.
Check out the newest flavor that just arrived in stores.
Big Easy cashews and Big Easy sunflower seeds.
Available now online or in a store near you. Huge thank you to Giant Snacks for sponsoring this podcast.
Now let's get back to the podcast.
Now that we got all that out of the way, we got to do one more thing on the Thankful Grateful stuff. And that's just like to our crew. We have not done this by ourselves. That is an understatement. I mean, Joe, our sponsors, the people who made our stickers for us. I mean, like, there's so many people that
There are a lot of people.
that help us out.
There's a lot of people that support, and then there's a lot of people that tag along with us.
Keaton.
We have
Come sit down.
we have 3 different main filmers, Keaton being one of them. Shout out to Keaton. We have Noah Cluton. He is one of our filmers.
Cluton Films,
Cluton
great.
Films.
He does great work.
Yes, and he came to Nashville with us. And we have Nixon Norman.
Yep. Nixon Norman.
And he's another one, and he drives super far just to come film with us.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys care, but it's like, it's so powerful for us. We need to talk about this.
Yeah.
This kid, I hit him up at 10:30 p.m. and he just got back from Spain like 2 days before and missed school for a long time. He's a senior in high school. And he's 3.5 hours away. And he drove the next morning at 6:15 to the hangar, the airport in Fargo, and skipped school, missed a bunch of tests, whatever he had to do, just to help us film. And we can pay him to cover the costs and a little bit more.
Yep.
But it's not worth.
Yeah.
He's not doing it for the money.
No.
So-
He's doing it because he wants to be with us.
And
And then we
he's-
have, oh, you good?
Go ahead.
Okay. And then we have Keaton. Now, Keaton, he's got his own business. What is that called, Keaton?
It's Kutzner Lensworks.
He's out of Wapaton is where he is. He is a freshman, and we've just appreciated everything that you've done for us. And he comes and films with us as he can. He shows us that he wants to be a part of this, and he enjoys it. And to be honest, a little bit of seeing his ambition reminds me of people like us who are entrepreneurs who want to do their own thing. Keaton wants to do his own thing. He shows it. He shows up. He loves doing it with us. So thank you, Keaton.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I love doing this.
Yeah. Let's go.
Thank you, Keaton, for swinging by. If you want to go back to taking pictures, you can. Any pictures that you guys see on our Instagram are coming from this man lately.
Yep.
So any of the ones from this episode. And anyways, so yeah, anyway, the point of that was to share that we have a big crew, and it just keeps growing, and we're super thankful for everybody that has helped us along the way. We're excited to show you the new set at the new shop and continue to pump out a bunch of content. We got a lot of good responses on the behind the scenes video. So every time we travel, we will try and film a behind the scenes video. So
I do have a side note.
go ahead.
I love reading your guys' comments, but what I love more is when people reach out to me.
Yeah.
I've had people reach out to me, and we are not big by any means. So it's not like I'm trying to hold my flag high here, but reach out. I enjoy talking to whoever. I've
Like
had people,
DMs?
yeah, DMs or Snapchat. Add me on Snap. Like, I like it when people reach out and talk and say, "Hey, how does this work in your podcast? What are these things?" Maybe not Snapchat. Now that I say that.
DMs.
but DMs.
No, yeah, the DMs.
But you know what
Especially
I'm saying?
Especially after Grams.
Yes.
Ton of people.
Yeah.
hey, thank you guys for having Graham on. That was a great episode. It was really good, whatever. Yeah, huge.
If you ever
Huge.
need any advice on starting your own YouTube stuff, your own journey of whatever
If
that
you did have a
is.
piece of advice for those people who want to do something that you do, what would you say?
Are we
And I'll share
relating
some
it?
too.
Are we relating it to the podcast?
Yes.
Some advice for someone who wants to start something similar to the podcast.
Yes. And then I'll give mine.
My advice is do whatever you can to make the quality high, as high as possible within your means from the get-go. I think that is something that we have done that has paid off very, very largely. Another thing, stay consistent, stay determined. A lot of people I see start, they quit after a month, or they're just not consistent, or they post once every other week, whatever. Stay consistent. It's about learning. But that's what I got.
Yeah. I would say obviously the given is being consistent. Everybody says that, and it's very true. And I think we've done that really well. We haven't missed a single day of
No.
posting in over 6 months and a single week of an episode. But so that's number one. Number two, I would say is, and this is a quote that I've seen before. I did not come up with it, but it's for people who maybe think that they're too busy. It's not your 9 to 5 that's holding you back. It's what you're doing from 5 to 9. What you're doing in that time that, a normal person's like, dude, I just had a long day of work. I just want to chill and do nothing and go to work the next day. That's fine if you don't want to succeed at your other side venture. Like, you can't be a content creator immediately and make money full time. You just simply can't do it. And so it's not what you do, it's what you do in your off time that makes you succeed. We both are busy as hell, to be honest with you right now. With the detailing, running that whole business is, more flexible. You have school, but it's like we're still insanely busy, but it's very important, and success in this means so much to me that I'm going to, dude, I would kill a weekend for it, no problem. I would say, screw that weekend, I'll film.
Yeah.
Let's film. You have to be able to give up time in other, like, free time. Not saying don't hang with your family, just saying you have to give up time sometimes to succeed. And so that would be my advice.
Another side note, because I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah.
I would say this on a different pod, but I just am thinking about it now. You mentioned earlier about being busy. To me, the word busy is so weird because everyone's a little different within what is their busy, right? But in my opinion, stay busy, make yourself more busy, and make time for things. If somebody says, no, I can't hang out, I'm busy, that's not true. They just don't want to make time for whatever they have coming. So something like
Most
this
of the time.
podcast, most of the time. Yeah, I'm not
obviously
speaking
there's
for everything.
obligations and stuff
Yes.
like that. But
But for this podcast, for example, I am busy, but I make time for this because I enjoy it. My advice is make time for stuff that you enjoy doing, or maybe it's that side hustle. Make time for it. Stay busy. The busier you'll get, the easier it'll be to be busy. You will use your time wisely, and you will get things done. And I don't know. That's just from my own experience. Through the past year, I have been busier than ever, but I've gotten more stuff done and been more efficient and at using my own time. So if that made any sense.
And if that's not for you, it's not for you. You know what?
Yeah.
Some people aren't built that way. Sometimes, like when I find myself, working 7 a.m. or I should say 8 a.m. roughly till, 10 p.m. with the podcast, or sometimes even later, I get burned out and then I get sick, physically sick. So sometimes, like when I start feeling that thing in my throat, it's like I know my limit, and I've done a bad job in the last year of, stopping and taking a break. And you get in your own head sometimes, but if you hit that limit, you just need to take a break, whatever, but just like keep grinding. You will get to that point where you succeed. And social media is a weird game because you never really get to the point where you make it or where you succeed. You have guys like Logan Paul that have multiple businesses, unlimited subscribers, over 20 million, and he's still going. You never really get to that. I mean, that's in all business. You never really get to that point, but it's just like constantly going and never quitting. Before we wrap this up, we're going to try some meat from All Sagar Meats, one of our sponsors. Here, Aiden, you want to open it while I explain to these guys a little bit?
Yep.
They got a new location. It's in Breckenridge, Minnesota. A lot of these places are not able to be open all the time, but they got really good hours. So we're going to rate it 1 to 10. We rated, what, a beef stick or was it jerky last time? We rated a different
Donnie
flavor of
shots?
jerky with Donnie, but we got a new flavor, so we want to rate it from 1 to 10, and we'll let you guys know what we think about this jerky.
Wow.
I love jerky.
I do too. Very good.
I'm giving it a 10, and I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor. I know you guys expect that as a given. I'm not just saying that.
No, this is really good. Go to All Sagar Meats. Buy yourself some of these.
A lot of our viewers are local,
Yeah.
so if you are local,
And then also just tell them Beyond the Spotlight sent you.
yeah. If you do,
If you do, just say that. Just say it.
yeah. Cool. Well, we'll quit yapping. We'll yap next week. Thank you guys for watching the Beyond the Spotlight podcast. Thank you to our sponsors of this episode, All Sagar Meats, Detailed Dudes, and Giant Snacks. And we will see you guys next Monday at 6 p.m. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. We'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.